Well, I'm Samella Lewis. I was Samella Sanders, and I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. I have probably the major collection of African American art. And I think Scripps College has bought one of my collections, but I probably have the most important one still here. We first met in the 40s when I was in college in New Orleans at Dillard. And she was my general teacher. She was teaching everything, all the arts, art appreciation it was called. And so that's when we first met. It was 1940s. She told us to begin buying works from each other when I was in college at Dillard. And even if we had to pay $10 a month or $10 a week, began collecting our own works from classmates. I began collecting her work then when I was a student of hers. Because she didn't charge me what she charged most people. But I wanted to collect her work because she was explaining at the same time what she was trying to do. She was telling me about Grant Wood and people like that. And so and I decided that I would like to collect her work. And that's when I began. When I was a student of hers, I began collecting her work. Yes, she was from a upper class family too herself. What was considered as upper class in terms of African Americans at that time. Father was a professor at Tuskegee, and mom worked for the city of Washington, and they lived in very nice housing. But Elizabeth wasn't happy with that. She did not glorify those things that most of us aspire to. And she was born into much more than she was fighting for. Elizabeth was as influential as a human being as she was as an artist. She wasn't so concerned about feminism as she was about motherhood and fighting for justice, women and their part in terms of seeking justice and as active women and how they were treated or mistreated. And she was very active, in other words, in terms of trying to do something about segregation and discrimination and black women and working in homes where they had no respect. And so it affected her a great deal. The fact that some African American women were in the hierarchy, she was not thinking about them. She was thinking about the elevator operators, the people who worked in the kitchens, and that these people are the ones that deserve dignity, she felt. The others had it, so she was really fighting and working and producing for them. I think she wanted poor people or people who were not especially educated to understand what she was trying to do. Because that's what she focused on, women and women who were deprived to a large measure. And she did not glorify their position because it was ordinary position. And if you notice, she didn't make portraits of fancy portraits of important people. She always focused on people who were less important. And a greater respect for them certainly help the situation, the culture, and the world in general to be a better place.